Yeah, so it's about 9:30 and got 4 in the box, really just one big one. So just picking through some of the shallow stuff, looking for some more 4+ pounders. Covering a lot of water. It was real windy yesterday, so I think a lot of these fish are displaced. If anything, some of them are just now starting to slide back up. So covering a lot of water, throwing a fluke and a couple different minnow baits, and yeah, just trying my luck. Not as many fish up here as I'd hoped for, but we got one of the right ones so far. Lucked out and got about a 4-pounder first thing this morning on a spinnerbait, so that was kind of my bonus fish, but it's gone a little dry on me after that. A few small ones here and there, but it's definitely a scratch bite.
You have a lot faster approach to your minnow than average.
Yeah, the really big ones, I mean, if you let them look at it, they're just not going to commit, right? Especially if you're up shallow. So I fish them extremely fast with a lot of rod movement and a little bit of an unconventional style. A lot of guys just want to bump around, but I smallmouth fish a ton, and speed's sometimes one of the only ways to get them to actually put a bait in their mouth. They love to follow, so I try to make it as inconvenient as possible for them to follow, and sometimes it works good.
It's been a bit since the life update. Talk a little bit about what's new for you.
Yeah, so aside from fishing the BAM trail, I'm a rep for Rapala, so that's fun, working in the fishing industry. I also rep for Bahio Eyewear, Promar Nets and Gaffs, and a few other brands too. So super busy, but very thankful and really enjoy working in the fishing industry, selling tackle and working with all my dealers. So it's cool to be immersed in fishing all the time, at work and on the water.
There were some pretty cool new baits with Rapala. Have you had some chances to use any?
Yeah, so some of the new stuff we got coming out, man, it's going to be really awesome. The new CEO urchin style bait got best of show at ICAST, best new soft bait. So that's super exciting. Everybody came out with the urchin this year, and you know, we got to get that award in a year where really everybody's got that bait. So it's pretty cool. I fished that a good bit. Excellent bait. Caught them everywhere from back home to here to Clear Lake on the new Crush City CEO urchin bait. They got some new minnows coming out. Smaller freeloader 325 is going to be really good, especially in like the Northern California reservoirs for all the shad fisheries, you know, eating little thread fins. That 325 freeloader is going to be great. The inspector worm's really good. 360 degree, like hand pour soft. Little finesse worm, and yeah, they got just a ton of really good, really innovative stuff. It's a pleasure working with those guys because every year they're going to come out with a bunch of new exciting products.
The question is it Rapala or Rapala?
You know, I was a Rapala guy forever, and I was corrected. It's a Rapala. But I think either way you say it's fine.
Shad wrap. What's new at Discount Tackle?
Yeah, so the guys at Discount have been super busy, man. That's a very rapidly expanding fishing tackle retailer. If you guys haven't checked them out, definitely go take a look at discounttackle.com. They're a West Coast based tackle company. So if you're in Oregon, Washington, California, you're gonna get your order probably in 48 to 72 hours after placing it. So super, super fast. Free shipping over a certain point. So great deal there. And just like in the name, everything's discounted. So go to Discount Tackle and they mark everything down at least a little bit. You know, margins are tight in the fishing industry, but they do what they can to help you guys save $1 or $2 here and there, which is awesome. And just really great guys. They're always buying the right stuff, all the new hot innovative tackle. And yeah, super fortunate to work with those guys as well.
And what is Worksharp?
Yeah, so Worksharp is a tool and knife sharpening company. They're based out of Ashland, Oregon. So another really awesome West Coast company. They also make a line of really nice premium cutlery. So some everyday carry pocket knives and things of that nature. Excellent company, super fortunate to work with those guys as well. They make a field sharpener, which is far and away my favorite hook sharpener. It just has interchangeable grits. So if you got like a flipping hook you need to get the barb re-rolled over on, you know, say you stuck on a rock or something, you could put on a much more coarse grit, knock that point down, and then switch it out to like a 220 grit to get that really nice fine sharp point. So really helps. I mean, it's surprising how many guys even at a professional level don't run a hook sharpener in their boat. It's crazy to me, but I'm always checking my hooks, checking my line, making sure everything's perfect all the time.
How technical are you with bait presentation, color, etc.?
Yeah, unfortunately, man, I make everything like probably 5 times more complicated than it really needs to be. I'm always trying to stay up on throwing innovative techniques that a lot of guys aren't throwing, you know. Import a lot of stuff from Japan if I need to. That way I can show the fish a new color, new profile, things of that nature. But yeah, I'm always just trying to stay on top of it, and whatever the next big thing's going to be, making sure that I'm, you know, on board with whatever the new techniques are coming out, whether it's urchins or dice baits or minnows or special colors or whatever. I got a spot I'm going to check. It's like 700 feet up here. So I'm just going to fast troll up there.
Do you have a plan for the rest of the day already?
Yeah, so it's not really happening as fast as I need up here. I'm going to check one spot on the gorge and then at least get myself hopefully a size, you know, and then after that, if I have however much time I have left, I'm gonna go fish. I was really hoping and
Season's down.
Oh yeah. One of these days, I promise I will. I haven't fished a Pro-Am at Shasta in a long time.
Well, January will be here quick.
Yeah, no, I'll try to make that for sure. But starting a new job and stuff, it's, you know, you don't know exactly when your free windows are, so next year, yeah, I did this spring, and it was fishing really good. Fished a little tournament down there and had, I think, 26.5 on Saturday and 29 something on Sunday, so it's fishing really good. Yeah, all largemouth. The big smallmouth, man, it seems like there's getting to be maybe a little bit of a yeah, it's just not quite as many of those big 4+ pound smallmouth as were in the past, but all the big largemouth, man, that's a welcome sign.
We're not seeing any big swim baits on your deck for this one.
There's one. I just don't have personal permission to throw it until I have, you know, at least 18 pounds or something.
What part of the river is this?
This is right below the mouth of the Snake. I saw Adam run down before me.
Yeah, 48 keepers is impressive.
Yeah, it was a lot of work, but I was fishing in a totally different section of river. I mean, that's the one downside to qualifying by keepers, is I don't have 2 days of practicing around looking for these big ones, right? I just go to where I've caught them in the past and hope they haven't been displaced too bad. And it definitely seems like they're pretty displaced.
So is the field fairly versatile for what you expected for the top 10?
Yeah, it was. This is one of the first events that I recall. I don't think there was a double qualifier. I think it was 5 keepers and 5 weight, and there was such a differentiation between the keepers and the weight side. We really did get 5 from each side. You know, Ron Mace and Justin Campbell, those guys are so incredible on this fishery, right? I have a ton of respect for them. I've made a couple top 10s against both of them up here, and they always show out on the final day. So I knew my chances were going to be better if I just chased keepers and I never caught one big fish that I was going to need to weigh in today throughout the course of the whole event, you know, just to save any big fish that I maybe knew where they were to, you know, for when it counts. But yeah, it seems like they definitely have moved on me a little bit. I've seen a couple cruisers, and I think they're just starting to show back up. After the wind, they're sliding up, you know, now. It might be better this afternoon.
So do you think the largemouth bite is good enough to count on for the guys that are targeting those fish?
Yeah, I think that the limiting factor is going to be if the guys targeting largemouth are from out of town, it's really hard to find where to expand to go find another one or go catch a limit of largemouth. So that's the issue that they're going to run into, is the fact that there's very isolated populations and spots that can even produce a large. At the limit, 2 limits or 3 limits of a multi-day event, that's a much harder feat. In here, some of the locals can kind of know where to go pluck one out when they need one. I use out of town. That's very difficult. But they're big, pre-prep, about 7 pounds. Some real largemouth in this river.
What's the biggest factor or difference between this pool and Boardman?
This pool sets up, you know, This section, like in Casey's up to the Snake, it kind of gets real wide. There's a lot of flats, a lot of grass, kind of similar to the Blaylocks. I don't know if it's the junction of two major rivers, the Snake and obviously the Columbia, meeting here that makes these fish so big, but you know, it seems like if you're catching them in this pool from really the mouth of the gorge all the way up to the reach, you have potential to catch like 5+ pound smallmouth. My travel partner Nick Wood caught a 6 yesterday, so that's just a humongous smallmouth. Super excited for him. He had a great bag, made the top 10. So we got 2 out of the 3 guys in our house fishing today. That's pretty awesome out of almost 70 guys. And then the third guy, Tom, he got a check too. So it was a good event for the whole house.
I think Tom got the check.
I think so, yeah. I think he got 8 or something.
This was talking. We're going to tell the truth with each other and help break down the body of water. Does that make the 30-day off limits a little more manageable?
Yeah, so there'll be certain events, like say Nick can go pre-practice and get me a good, you know, preparation for it. This event was one I pre-practiced for. I spent about 4 days up here, that's a lot of time. It's a huge river though, so I would have liked to have more time regardless. But that being said, I could have some good conversations with my buddies and make sure that they at least know what to be prepared for.
And what about risk versus reward? Do you think that there's instances where it's worth taking the risk of using a lower unit to get to the more challenging sections of the river?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I've been up to the reach one time and it's super treacherous. I was pretty uncomfortable even running up there in the first place for good reason. And once I got there, I really didn't know where to go. So without a lot of time up here, say like weeks, really seasons, I don't see myself being comfortable up there. So I usually just stick to this area, you know, from Richland down to the dam. And, you know, a couple pro-ams over the years, I've consistent making top 10. So it's a quality section of river, but I do find kind of within about 5 miles of where I'm standing right now is usually pretty tough. You're kind of, and there, any 2 and 3 pound smallmouth in that canyon. Unfortunately, in a 5-fish tournament, those fish just don't get you very far. 15 pounds doesn't usually get you even a check on this fishery. Upper teens, low 20s this time to be a standout.
Do you think Justin being used to winning on the 3-day format?
If there's one guy who I'm sure has got plenty of gas in the tank, it's Justin and obviously Ron. They're locals and a lot of people watching will say, oh, they're, you know, it's whatever, but I'm telling you, those guys are extremely good fishermen, right? I fish against them everywhere we go. And I'm always impressed with the consistency that those guys, you know, produce. I think Justin's had at least, I think every event this year has been a good event for Justin. He did good at Havasu. I think he did good at Brownlee. So the dude's on him, and he's adjusted fast. You know, it's his first year fishing the Super 60, and he's already getting checks and top 10. It's a very unique format. So a lot of guys, we see them come into the circuit, have to feel it out and figure it out for a while, where Justin has just started, you know, hit the ground running, and there's no stopping that guy. And I've known him for, I don't know, maybe 6 years now and fished against him a lot, and really good dude.
With the bottom 10 drop this year, do you think it's going to tighten up the competition even more?
Yeah, it will. I'm excited that we're going to start doing the actual cuts and build this circuit into a really like prominent elite level competition. I think that's what it needs, you know. For a long time we've been growing this thing. It's getting bigger and bigger. It's amazing to see how far we've came. I mean, we got Starlinks on the boat and Facebook Live, and you know, we got apps that tell you, you know, tell the spectators how everyone's doing on the water. Every platform for this to be just by far the most legitimate, super high stakes circuit on the West Coast. And I think soon it's going to be recognized at more of a national level, you know. The national circuits don't ever come to the West. So just because we don't go to the East, to me, it doesn't mean that it's not a national circuit as far as I'm concerned. I put more miles on my truck fishing bass tournaments than a lot of guys who fish a prominent national tour. I guarantee you, it's 17 hours for me to get to Havasu, 7 hours to get here, 8 hours to Pedro, right? So you start adding up the miles, and these West Coast pros, man, they are seriously hardcore. They cover a ton of miles. They're so versatile, and if you start seeing some of these guys consistently getting top 10s, that's a dangerous angler. That guy is seriously polished.
What do you think about if the field expanded to 100?
I mean, that'd be cool to imagine the payouts at 100 boats, right? We're at 70 right now, and we have the strongest payout really in the fishing industry as far as I'm concerned. You know, last place check, which is about around a third of the field, right? They pay around 20th place most of these events if they fill up. Everyone shows up, is like a $4,000 check. So it's a super considerable amount of money. Get the field up to 100 and those checks are gonna go even deeper and be even bigger, and that's phenomenal. The one thing that would make me sad about is when we have 50 or 60 or 70, you get to go to some fisheries that are just really so cool and not quite big. And just 60, 70 boats, I'm having a blast. There's times we were 30 boats and had a blast.
Yeah, going from 30 boats to 60 boats, you know, limited the water that we can go to.
Yeah, 100 boats that's considerable. There's certain fisheries that can accommodate that, and it's definitely not every single one.
Would 75,000 or 100,000 be a more life-changing number though?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think the money means a lot. The money is a huge deal. It's $50,000 is enough to change the way you live for a while. But I think for most of us, man, like these guys are so good. The money is the last thing, and oh man, big one. I got grass on my jig. Short bit.
That's a pretty small jig you're throwing.
It is, yeah, just a little 1/8 ouncer. But yeah, 50,000 bucks is a huge sum of money, but at the end of the day, like, I want to win, you know, like, it's crazy to say that that's not on my mind, you know.
And do you have a pretty nice mantle for your,
Yeah, I got at my house, I got like a wood table right below my TV with the 2 Super 6 or Pro Tour trophies and a bunch of like shed antlers I found, and yeah, I got it all decorated up, kind of log cabin style.
And are you a pretty big hunter as well?
Yeah, I enjoy to hunt. Fishing's my top priority, right? So if I don't have the, you know, free time to really go hunting, maybe I miss a season here and there, but most years I'll go deer hunt, get a deer. I like to turkey hunt too. Did really good hunting turkeys this spring. But I fish all the time, you know, any free chance that I get, I want to be out on the water, and just staying sharp. You can't compete against these guys if you're not on the water like all the time. I mean, Bryant Smith, Monroe, that's a tough act to follow anywhere in the country, especially in their backyard.
Alright, well, we'll wrap up the live, but what do you want to end it on with the rest of your days?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna keep grinding. I just saw two more fish I need. They're good ones, but I need them to connect. So I'll give it a little bit more time. try to go catch a couple at the mouth of the gorge just to help cull a few of these babies out, and then I'm gonna get back to it, man. Not give up till the last minute, even if it means poking my head in a spot that has some largemouth sometimes.